Welcome to Texarkana College's Genzabar eLearning LMS training course. The purpose of these lessons is actually twofold. The first is to introduce faculty members to the main portlets of Genzabar's eLearning learning management system, or generally referred to as an LMS, and how they are used to create a learning environment for online students. The second is to walk faculty members through the steps of creating an online course using Quality Matters standards throughout the process. So, we are ready for lesson one. In this lesson, you will learn how to get to your master course from your MyTC page, become familiar with the different sections of the course homepage, which we have titled the Start Here page, create a welcome statement for your Start Here page and actually upload it to your page, and learn how to upload files to the Moxie Manager. The first step is to open a web browser. Genzabar documentation suggests that you use Internet Explorer. I have not had an issue using any of the other browsers. I've used Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, but I typically use Internet Explorer, so I will open it and go to the Texarkana College homepage. And then when I get to the Texarkana College homepage, I want to click on the MyTC tab up at the top. And then you're going to type in your username and your password. And then you're going to click on the login button. And that will log you into MyTC. Next, you will click on your faculty link up here in the top blue bar. And that should open my faculty page. Now, my faculty page is probably going to look a little different than yours. I do not have any regular semester courses in mine, but on your page you will find a section called Genzabar eLearning LMS. And this should have two semesters in for you. It will have one that's labeled Master that I created to put these master courses in, and yours will also have a current semester. If you're in it this semester, you should have a spring 2016 semester listed with your courses there as well. But I don't have any courses. Under this master term, you should find at least two courses. One of them is a faculty training course, Genzabar Learning LMS. That's the actual course that you're in right now, learning how to do this. You will also have another course listed that is the course that you asked me to create for you to be working on. Now, you don't see it in my list of courses, but we've come up with a specific format to name these classes as we put them into the master course. And they will be similar to this federal government course that I have listed here. Each one of them will start off with an ACGM or a WECM number. It will have the instructor's first initial, last name in parentheses, and it will also have a section number that will either be a W for an online course, a H for a hybrid course, or a T, as this one does, for a traditional face-to-face course. And then at the end, you will also have the ACGM or WECM name and number listed in parentheses as well. So go ahead and click on your course that I created for you to open it. I have created a P11 or Practice 11 course that I'm going to use for demonstration purposes. I will open it. Now, when you open your course, it loads to the Start Here page. These topics over in this left-hand light blue sidebar are called portlets. So it's defaulted to open to the Start Here portlet, and I can click on that Start Here portlet, and you can see that that's where it is. If I go down and click on another portlet, say the attendance portlet, then I go back up to the Start Here. This is the default opening page. Let's look at the basic layout of this page, because the layouts for all of the portlets are pretty much the same. There are three basic parts or main parts to the layout. You have this light blue sidebar to the left. It contains the basic navigation links within the course. And if you count these little portlets up, it sidebar has 12 basic portlets in which most of your course materials will appear. The students will see these same 12 in this order when they log on as well. They will also see the course search and the spring 2016 or whatever your current semester is going to be courses. Please do not rearrange these top 12 portlets. You will learn later how you can rearrange portlets when you start creating some yourself. But do not rearrange these top 12. We would like to keep them the same for every course, so when students have different instructors with different courses, the look is the same for them and it causes less confusion. Now, students will not see the add a page, the context manager, or the usage statistics. I can show you that, but I can go up here to the where it says current view faculty, switch that over to view as students, and click on the change view, and you will see this is what the students see, that those first 12 portlets, the course search, and the spring 2016. So now I want to go back to my regular view over here, and notice that's where most of your course material is going to be located, in this light blue sidebar. You also have a quick links dark blue sidebar over here. It's got a copy courses link, which we'll discuss in another lesson, that will let you copy the course you're creating here into other courses. It also has links to web pages that are found on the Texarkana College website. But those are just outside links. They do not connect to anything within the Genzabara eLearn system, with the exception of the copy courses. And then the third main part that you have is this large white section that takes up most of the page. It will have your course name at the top, and notice that it has three different sections set up already as the default, and we'll go over that in just a minute. So these three sections, go back. You can also click on the little plus button over here by the Start Here, and you see those three sections: the handouts, the welcome, and the bookmarks. Right now, we're just going to worry about the welcome statement. We want to create a welcome statement. And if you've read the instructions for that training course, ELMS, then you will notice that there was a welcome template down under the resources section, and it asked you to print that off and create yourself a welcome page. So that's what I'm going to do here quickly. Once you get that welcome page constructed in Word or any other text editor, you come back to the welcome page here, and when you mouse over welcome, or the dark line that comes across here, notice that this edit content comes up. You just click on the edit content link, and then it comes up to this page that has the number 1 in the box, and it's got a pencil in the trash can. Well, you want to click on the pencil. And this is where you're going to copy and paste your welcome message to your students. You do not need to put in a header text because it is already labeled welcome. So we want to open up our welcome message that we have in a text editor. I created this template in Word, so I'll open it up, and then Notice that at the top I have the Quality Matters rubric standards that can be satisfied within this welcome template, because that's one of the things we want to do as we go through and create this course is apply the Quality Matters standards to it to make it more robust. So what I want to do once I have my information complete, and again, you don't have to use this welcome template. If you've got one that you like better, as long as it covers this information, it doesn't matter. I just thought it might be easier for some first time faculty members working in the LMS to have some templates up. So anytime that I have a template, if you've got a better way of doing it, feel free to use it. But say that I've got my welcome template finished, then I'm going to highlight everything that I have, and then I'm going to Control C for copy, and then I'm going to go back to the eLearning LMS, and then I'm going to put my cursor in this text box and I'm going to paste it with Control V. And it's easier to use the Control C for copy and the Control V for paste because sometimes these text editors do not like the right click copy, right click paste. So using the Control C and the Control V works better. Now notice that in this, when it came over, I've got some spaces in between these paragraphs that are double spaced, and I don't like that. The format didn't come over exactly correct. So, but all I have to do is click in and backspace out, and I can go down through and click and backspace out of each of these that have double entries in it. And then there I am. I've got it the way I like it. Now, if I wanted to put a picture of myself in here, and we will cover later in this lesson how to upload files to the Moxie Manager. But say I wanted to put a picture of myself in here so the student could see what I look like. God forbid. I'm going to put my little cursor at the top or wherever I want my picture, top or bottom. And then I'm going to come over and click on the insert or edit image. And I'll click on it, and where it says source, I'm going to click on the little camera, and then it's going to take me to the Moxie Manager. And again, we'll cover this later in this lesson. And then I know that I put my picture, my JPEG, into the P11, Practice 11 folder. So there's my picture. Now notice when I mouse over it, you've got this little box that comes up in the bottom right hand corner. I want to click on that box and it'll put a little white check mark in there. And then I want to click the word insert down here at the bottom. And there it's going to go there and pick up the picture. Now on the image description, you really want to type in something there to meet ADA requirements, disability requirements. So I will just put picture of instructor. And I'm happy with that. Then I just click OK. And there my picture is. Now, a little big, I would say, but all I have to do is click on the picture, put my mouse over a corner, and it'll turn black, and I just resize it. If I would like to put the welcome to this course right below that, I can just put my mouse there, click enter. If I want to make the font larger, I can highlight my font. And I like to use, it comes in about 10, I think, font, but I like to jump mine up to 12 normally, so I can just jump it up to 12. And I've got my welcome statement in for my students. And all I have to do now is click save. And there my welcome statement is, along with my picture in it. Now I want to go back to the Start Here page to see the whole thing again. So I'll go up here and click on my Start Here portlet. And notice I've got handouts. I have nothing there yet. Here's my welcome statement, and then I have bookmarks below. One of the things that I want to do is to fix this to where students, if I've got some handouts or bookmarks, or we'll put a calendar in here in a minute, I don't want them to have to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So what I can do is come up and change my layout a little bit, and I can click on options and notice that it is side by side, so that's where I want it. If it wasn't side by side, you've got some other options. If I wanted to change that to different types, one column side by side with header, I've got all those choices. I think it's easier just to leave it on side by side. So I'm going to come back up to options, and I can rearrange the features within this layout. And that's where I want to put things over on that second column, because right now everything looks like it's just in one column. So I'll click on rearrange the features within this layout, and then there comes up, I have my handouts, my welcome, and the bookmarks are at the bottom. But notice I do have this other column over here that's not being used. So I want to keep the welcome over on the left, and I want to put everything else over on the right. So I can grab my handouts, scoot them over to the right hand side, and then I can come down here and take my bookmarks if I'd like and pull them over and drop them below the handouts. And sometimes these don't stick right at first. You have to go back and drag them back over, but that's not too big of a problem. So I've got now my welcome, my handouts, and my bookmarks. And I can just click Save Changes. So now we're back at the Start Here page. And notice that I've got my welcome statement over on the left. I've got my handouts, my bookmarks on the right. Now, one of the things that I like to do, it does have a calendar, the course does, over here in a separate portlet by itself. But since the students, every time they get into the course, it's going to default to this Start Here page, I also like to put a calendar in the Start Here page. And that's not hard to do. I will just go up to Options, click on Options, and here under the Start Here features, it says it has three features: my welcome, my handouts, my bookmarks. Well, I want to add a new feature to this page. I want to add a calendar. So I'll click on Add a New Feature to this page. And under Essential Features, you have a blog, bookmarks, calendar, chat, freeform content, and handouts. Right now, we're just going to worry about the calendar. I'm going to click the calendar, and it will automatically put the calendar in. And it's down below the welcome. So it's there. So I want to go now back to my Start Here page, and I can do that up here in the breadcrumbs at the top, clicking on Start Here, or I can do it down here back to Start Here. So we'll go back to the Start Here page, and notice that down here below my welcome statement is now my calendar. But I want to put that over here on the right hand column as well. And I actually want it up at the top above handouts and bookmarks. So I can go back to my options, and click on Rearrange the Features again. And then I'm going to go down and grab this calendar and pull it over all the way to the top. That's where I've got my calendar, my handouts, and my bookmarks. Handouts are any type of paper that you would normally hand out to a face-to-face classroom full of students. Your syllabus, anything you would have as a handout. Bookmarks are links to external websites. So now that I've got those in there, I'm going to go up here and click Save Changes. And when we go back to the Start Here page, we can see that I've got my welcome statement over on the left. I've got my calendar, and as you put things in like test, any announcements that you want, all that stuff will show up in the calendar, and we'll discuss that later when we talk about calendars. And I've got my calendar over here on the right, my handouts, and my bookmarks. So that's all there is to actually putting your welcome statement and kind of rearranging your calendar, handouts, and bookmarks. What we're going to cover next here in just a minute is actually how do I get files up to the Moxie Manager, because we're going to be using a lot of files. And I thought it would be best to cover it right here in the first lesson rather than covering it later. So that's what we will do next. The Moxie Manager is similar to a file cabinet. Once you get your files uploaded there, they will be accessible to you to use as files in other courses or a specific course. To upload files, you first need to get to the Moxie Manager, though, and if you notice it, there's nothing over here in the portlets that say Moxie Manager, but it's really not that hard to get to it. All you have to do is go over and click on Resources, and when Resources portlet comes open, you'll see that it's got handouts and bookmarks. Well, we're just going to go up and click a handout. We're really not going to add a handout, but this is going to get us to the Moxie Manager. So I'll click Add a Handout, and instead of typing in a name for the handout and a description and all that, I just want to go to Choose File, because we just want to get to the Moxie Manager. And once I click on that Choose File, the Moxie Manager shows up. Now, I've used a lot of files in my lessons that I've been practicing with, but I've noticed that there's actually four categories over here on the left hand side. You've got a folder with your first initial and last name. Anything you put in that folder, you will be able to get to in any other course that you're working in. You have a folder with the name of the course or class that you're working in currently. Anything you put in that one will be just available for that course. And notice you see that picture that I had put in there earlier. And then you've got history that tells me some things that I've been into, and then some favorites, which I don't have any. But those are the three files that you see on the left hand side, two of them with file folders. So for training purposes, I'm going to upload files to just specifically this course that we're working in right now, say your course or my Practice 11 course. Once I click on that, yours will probably be all blank. I will click the upload local machine, and then it's going to come and bring up, my local machine, my desktop. I can go to, I have a terabyte flash drive. I had a little 2 gig flash drive here, so I can go to anywhere I want to pick up a file. So say I pick up, I want to do the online sample syllabus. I'll click on it, click on open, and it will load the online sample syllabus in. I can load as many files in as I want into this Practice 11 class, or if I'm working in my folder with my name, that I can get to any classes. Because I don't know, sometimes you might have files that you use in a lot of other classes. So I can just keep going to upload, local machine. I'll go to my passport folder here now and find me a file that I can click on. I'll do an Excel sheet here that I can click on. Open it, and there it's copied over an Excel spreadsheet for me. Or I can go and upload file that's just a PDF. Here's a PDF, grading rubric for class discussion. And there it is. So the Moxie Manager is not hard to upload files. You can upload basically any kind of type of file that you want. You can upload sound files. You can't upload a video file though. And we'll talk about that later when we talk about uh, putting videos inside of our class shells. So Moxie Manager is not that hard. It's easy to get to as long as you can remember where to go get to it in the resources. And once you get there, you can upload one file or many files. And that's all there is to the Moxie Manager. And this ends lesson one. Thank you very much.